You've been looking for something like a thread that connects the work through the years. Is there something that keeps returning or something that keeps coming up? Therein resides the melancholic stratagem. The only way to possess an object which we never had, which was from the very outset lost, is to treat an object that we still fully possess as if this object is already lost. By the way, I am answering your question. It's not true though. I was going to say about the British school in Rome, but we're now on a roof of the Macro Museum. But I was looking at your questions sometime after midnight in the library of the British School at Rome and thinking, am I here because I held onto a thread, surrounded at a very late hour by antique books, in place holding up that classic British knack for cultural possession? And it's not easy to explain and admit my non-resistance to the rarefied experience of this. But I am a worker, that's how I see what I do. Work, not theory. But this week I have a key to the front door here, and artists do tend to sometimes self-ordain for themselves a certain permission. You asked about the experience at the Whitney Independent Study Program, and did it shape a practice in any particular way? And I did not say a word in any of the seminars, and it was a beautiful program, but often also quite boring. But my desire to be there was about New York, the city, and the art I was discovering, having come out of there a generation or so before me, and that had a lot to do with it. I regret not having the weekly Xerox list, the reading list that they gave us Whitney Fellows. But I do recall standing on 14th and 7th Avenue with these lists, standing over a subway grate, the kind that blasts hot air and letting the whole thing fly. And the major and much anticipated event then at the Whitney program was Vito Acconci's seminar. And I remember it absolutely, but can't really put it into words. Running through the then newly opened Tate modern Turbine Hall at that time was a spontaneous action, and maybe a straight ahead interpretation is that it was also about my own desire, which is for art, and that film has the power to come back and show you something as if it's a dream, and that's what I think the films are like. I don't really know what it's going to look like there, and it's a very simple thing that I didn't make the film. The person who was with me had the camera, going there to a studio, what that kind of art world was or how it operated. And I think the work I make is always a bit rooted in that accidental inside view and object lesson. I had no idea who Richard Prince was or would be, but the first thing I saw in his studio, which was then 2 floors on Reed Street with painting downstairs, and he lived above, and he had a lot of art there that he lived with, and I'm talking about how he had other artists' work everywhere. Not so much hung, but leaning, and lots of books. And he also, we moved this art around a lot. Richard gave me a few things, and crucially at the time, he gave me a well-paid job 3 days a week.